Today's episode is going to be all about thoughts. I am your host, Cam, Dr. Cam Aldridge, PhD, minus the PhD. I do have a master's degree, however, in psychology, and I am a PhD student working to get my doctorate degree in clinical psychology. Joining me is none other than Declan. I wanted to have Declan on the show because he's, at least in my eyes, he's super smart. I think he's hilarious too, but this could be a flop because maybe I'm the only person that thinks he's funny.
My wife doesn't think I'm funny.
My wife doesn't think you're funny either. So we'll see how this goes, but he's getting his master's, MBA actually, from the one and only Penn State. What is Penn State's mascot?
The Nittany Lion. Hey,
Go Nittany Lions!
they're good at football, all right? Sometimes.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Oh.
most of the time.
So we're going to talk about thoughts. What I've seen with the clients that I work with in therapy, thoughts is a good place to really kind of debunk some things and to go over some concrete strategies that help people manage their thoughts.
I think most people, I guess I'm speaking just for myself, but I think most of us think that we are our thoughts, right? Like, I'm actually in here.
And that's exactly where the problems come from. Because if you could take somebody who's having these thoughts that are, either really depressive or negative or anxious or angry, different things, they're going to think that is them. And it's obviously going to then influence how they feel and what they do. But if you employ these different strategies to remove yourself from your thoughts, like you keep thoughts over there, I'm me, those are my thoughts, then it really helps a ton. Have you ever had a really bad idea or a bad thought in your life?
Bad idea. I used to think I could do parkour as a kid. One time in particular, I thought everybody will think I'm cool. I was at a party. Everybody will think I'm cool if I just jump off the top of the roof of this building. And so I jumped, and of course, I'm not good at parkour, and I'm only a 14-year-old kid at the time. And I land off balance and slam my head into the ground, and I didn't have many thoughts for the next couple hours after that.
I think what it comes down to is the relationship we have with our thoughts. If we, are bowing to our thoughts like, oh, all powerful thoughts, you control my entire life, everything you say is 100% correct and I need to take them literally, and we have that attitude or that relationship with our thoughts, then the presence of even the slightest either unhelpful thought, anxious thought, depressive thought is going to send us for a whirlwind. When I work with clients, a really important part, especially when approaching thoughts, is to have them consider what is changeable and what is not changeable. Instead of changing the actual thought and trying to get rid of the thoughts or make them what you want, you just change your relationship to them or how you relate to the thoughts.
So you're kind of saying that I got to make my thoughts, instead of just thinking that I am my thoughts, I got to think of them as a separate entity from me so
Right.
that I can understand our relationship. So the relationship between me and my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people, I don't think that way.
Right.
I don't think that way.
Then there are some specific strategies that I like to do and I like to teach to my clients that help them create that distance and give them a sense of power, not to control the thoughts, but to react the way they want to them.
Yeah, I mean, I generally was thinking of my thoughts as if my body's the bus and my thoughts are the bus driver. And I thought that I was also the bus driver. But what you're telling me is that, well, no, maybe I'm a passenger and that's my chauffeur. And I get to tell my chauffeur how to drive the bus.
I'm wondering if it's a driver-passenger role where we are the passengers, or if we're actually the driver and the thoughts are the passengers, where they can be there on our bus and we don't necessarily dictate who's coming on and who's on the bus with us, but we can still feel okay with the fact that we have some passengers that we don't really like.
That's a good point. So
and still choose to where we want to drive.
So even though you got a passenger in the back telling you to turn left, you can understand that passenger is a bit of a, and then you go, okay, I'm not going to listen to that passenger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm the driver, though, because I'm in control of what I do.
You're in control of, where the bus is going.
I'm not controlling what my passenger is doing,
or
but
what they're saying.
I am in control of what my bus is doing.
Right.
Because I'm the driver.
You are the driver. We're really kind of taking an ACT approach, which is acceptance and commitment therapy. They even have this kind of metaphor where, like, you know, you are the bus driver. Your passengers come in. There might be some that you don't like, or some that smell, or some that yell and like try to tell you where to go. And ultimately, you just kind of accept that they're there, and you still have control of the steering wheel. You still go wherever you want to go.
So I got passengers that think they're on an Uber.
They think they're on an Uber.
But I'm no Uber driver. I got a bus route to take.
Yep. And it's going right to your well-being.
And my goals and dreams. How about that?
And your goals and dreams, your values, everything in life that you want to make you feel fulfilled. A common pitfall, though, is where people will listen, like they will invest a lot into these different passengers or these different thoughts. And so the passengers are yelling, take this left, turn right over here. And they're just driving all over. Maybe there's like a passenger that's just yelling like, you suck as a bus driver. Like, this is a terrible ride. I'm going to give you a 1-star review. I get paid by the city, so whatever. I guess a pitfall too is where people, they get really bothered by their thoughts or their passengers to the point where they like try to avoid them.
Yeah.
And they try to like push them away and get rid of them. You stop the bus, you're like, hitting the brakes, and you're like,
get out of my bus.
if you do that, you're going to spend a ton of time and energy trying to get people off the bus, trying to get these passengers that you don't like off the bus. And that's time that's getting taken away from you being able to drive to where you want to go.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep popping back on. That's just going to take up so much mental energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you just let them sit there and just be like, okay, they're fine, they're there, I'm going to drive to where I need to go or where I want to go, then that's really the first step. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really, it's all about the relationship you have with your thoughts. You drive the bus. Passengers can do whatever. Drive toward your values and your goals. Until next time.
Peace.